Hi, welcome to Diamond Custom Paint Shop. This is part 5 in a series of videos named Bobber, where I take a bobber motorcycle parts from bare metal to a finished custom paint job. In this video, part 5, I'm going to show you where I'm going to mask off for some silver stripes. And then it'll also, in the process, mask off where I'm going to do some marbling effect, which we'll do in the next video after this, part 6. So stay tuned. Look out for that video after this one's posted for the marbling effect. So in the last video, we did the murdered red look, and it turned out really good. As you can see, I'll post some videos or some pictures of the sun hitting on it. If you can't see it here in this video here with the sun shining on this corner, but it really turned out good. It looks black here, but when the sun's shining on it, I see that red pearl underneath there. It looks really cool. So that's what we're going to do today, is get the silver stripes on there, and it'll also lay out where I'm going to do my marbling effect inside of that. And then keep in mind, when I'm doing the silver stripes, there's going to be 2 stripes on the outside of gold leafing in the center of it. So it might look a little weird at first, but in the end, you'll see how it all comes together. So a couple of things I wanted to go over, just some tidbits of information that I do. Number one, I use earplugs a lot to plug holes, like mounting holes that have threads in them and stuff like that. And like on the oil tank, it has the holes where you can hook stuff, lines up and stuff. And a lot of times they'll have plugs in it. Well, I take all those plugs out and insert these in there, just so when you're doing all your clear coating and stuff, those screws don't get seized in there with however many coats of clear coat you end up putting on this thing by the end. So, and then another thing along those lines, all my masking, after every clear coat session, I remove all my masking, because what I found to happen in the past, where I've done it, or how I used to do it, was I'd kind of leave it on there until I felt like take it off. Well, what happens is that clear coat builds up, and then you're in for a big mess when you're trying to get it off it, because it bridges over it. You almost have to then take a razor blade and kind of cut where your tape is to get a clean edge. So I just found it a lot easier to take all my masking, pull all my plugs out in between, just to make sure everything's nice and clear. It's not getting built up on there too bad and getting buried, basically, is what happens in the clear coat. So so then the products we're going to be using is not a whole lot for this part. We're going to be using a lot of masking tape. We're going to be using Limeline's fine line tape. We're going to be using 16th inch and 8th inch Limeline's masking tape. The bigger and the smaller one here. I think this is 3/4. This is like 1 1/4 or something like that. We can measure it. I got my ruler right here. So this one is actually, 1 1/4. And we got 3/4, just like I thought. And Limeline's masking tape is really awesome. It's kind of a lower tack, so you don't have to worry too much about, lifting paint off and stuff like that. And this bigger stuff is pretty transparent too, which is really good when you're trying to, edge out stuff on top of your fine line. You can really see that edge. This is a little bit transparent too, but not as much as this, it seems like, but it still is. And then Limeline's masking tape here, which this is 1/4 inch, which is really awesome. So usually what I'll do after I do my fine line, then I'll go around it with this masking tape, 1/4 inch masking tape, to kind of edge that out, because this is a little more, can take turns and stuff a lot better than the bigger stuff. And then after that, I'll go, to the bigger stuff, and you'll see that in this video. And then what I also like to use, this is just some old vinyl tape I had from before, a long time ago. But I like to use something like, it doesn't have to be this, anything, whatever size you want your stripes to be, or if you're going to do like a gold leaf stripe, which we're going to do, I'll use this as a guide. I'll kind of put this down. That'll simulate that stripe, and then you can tape alongside of it, because I'm gonna have two stripes going along. So let's picture this is the gold leaf. Then I'm gonna have two silver stripes basically going down the sides of that. So I'll put this down to kind of give me some guide, how, make it nice and even, and then I'll tape along the edge of that. So, and then you don't have to do a continuous, like you'll see on here when I'm doing this side here. I'll probably just do like 1-inch pieces, just to kind of keep, so when I lay my fine line down, I can follow that and keep that same thickness edge there. Another thing, use a ruler, because when we get to the top, I want everything, right in the center and build off of that center. So I'll use the ruler for that. And this is a magnet. It's got a magnet on it, so it actually sticks to this metal tank, which is really good. Then I like to use these, I think this is Stabilo pencil. And this just, once you can write on here, and you can just use a wet rag and it'll wipe right off. So typically I'll, once I do all my stuff, get everything done, before I clear coat, I'll wipe all this off with a wet rag, just water. Or you can use, when you do the glass cleaner, it'll come off when you clean your part. So yeah, these are really awesome to use too, and you'll see me use this in the video. Okay, so in this video, I'll probably just video of me doing parts of the tank, probably like one side and then the top. I won't videotape doing the rear fender, the headlight, or the oil tank, because it'll all be the kind of the same process. And I don't want the video to be too long, to watch. So, but I will show pictures in the end of what everything looks like. And then once we get everything laid out on this tank, we will spray the silver to get that silver down. And then after that, I'll probably do a quick round of clear coat just to protect that. And then we'll do a marbling effect in the next video. So, all right, well, stay tuned and we'll get to taping this thing off. Okay, make sure you scuff everything down before you start your graphics on this fresh clear coat, because once we're done with this set of graphics, we're going to clear coat again, and you need everything scuffed down so your next session of clear coat has something to grab onto. I'm using Limeline's sanding sponge here, which can be used wet or dry. I'm using it wet and just kind of going over all the parts just to scuff it down. I kind of sand a little bit better in parts I know graphics are going down it, so it's a nice smooth surface there. But for the most part, yeah, just make sure you're sanding down your parts in between these sessions. Otherwise, your clear coat won't stick. Okay, and also I'd like to mention the reason I like to wet sand, especially in this stage, is because I sprayed this clear coat at about 6:30, 7 o'clock last night, and it's now, let's see, and it's now 11:40 the next day in the afternoon, so hasn't had too long to cure. I kept my booth here at about 80 degrees overnight, so yeah, I found that if you try to dry sand it at this stage, it's still too soft, kind of balls up on you, so yeah, I like the wet sand, plus it's a little cleaner to wet sand than the dry sand. So, okay, first I'm going to take the 1/8 inch, or the 16th inch, I mean, and just figure out where I want my border to be. And down here it'll be where the bottom 1/8 inch, I'm going to have an 1/8 inch or a 16 inch silver stripe down here. Then it's going to go up into 1/8 of an inch around. And then you'll see I'll have gold leaf stripe in there. So we'll just kind of start taping this out. Now where I'm laying the tape is where there's going to be a silver, and you'll see what I do in the end. So we have it all masked off right. So this is where the silver stripe is going to go. I'm just following around the edge of this teardrop. Okay, you can keep peeling this up till you like it. See, I don't like how this kind of gets a little kink right there. I want that nice and smooth to start that circle. And this will be the hardest part of all this, is getting this line just how I want it, because everything's going to build off of this line here. I can see that's not quite nice round curve like I want it. Just peel it back up and go at it again. There we go. Now just bring that to the inside, because the inside doesn't matter. We're just worried about the outside. Just pull that up, cut that straight so this meets up nice and flush there. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we're gonna have a gold leaf stripe kind of right in here, kind of does like a Nike swoosh here up, and then down, it meets back up down here. So I'm gonna use this tape here to give me my spacing. So I'll just get me a piece here. And I'm just going to lay that right along this edge here. Like so. Okay, now right on here, this is going to be gold leaf. And then that's going to be a silver. And then I'll have so that's a 16th silver line that's going to come across. I'm going to have a 1/8 inch come across the top of that. So now we'll lay the 1/8 inch line across that with our fine line tape here. So we'll start over here, how kind of get this. Remember now where you lay this, where I'm going to be laying this tape is where the silver is going to actually be, the actual line. So I want to get this so it comes out of this one where it begins, just how I want it. Nice and kind of come out of that nice and smooth. And we'll follow around here and meet up into this. Still too tall. Kind of back it up. How I find it easiest to do these curves is you'll learn, you kind of get the timing of turning this as you're pushing down with your thumb here, sticking it down to the surface. So there we go, nice and smooth curve there. I'll pull some of this fine line tape off. So I'm just enough to make it go straight. I'm not pulling any tension on it because I don't want it to kick back on me and shrink up. And just follow this edge of this here for my spacing. Then as I get to about right here, I'm going to start diving down again into this curve. It's going to curve around, and that silver is going to meet up with that silver right there around the back end here, just like that. Okay. Then I can cut this. That goes the inside. Nope, we won't do that because that curves it too much. There we go. So that silver is going to go. So I make sure that's going to look right. It's going to come and just kind of meet up with that edge right there. Okay. Give that a trim. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Okay, so now in the process that laid out, so everything, I'm going to mask this out all the way around this edge here. Then I'm going to spray silver along all this edge inside here. And then when we come back, clear coat it. And when we come back, I will actually lay these lines down again just like this, because that's going to be our block off our silver. And then I'll mask everything off from there up, and that's going to leave this in here. Inside of here is where I'm going to do the marble effect inside of this indentation here on the side. And we're going to do that on the top here. We'll have a spot that kind of does that circle around and does kind of the same look, and we'll match it on the fenders and the headlight and all that. So, all right, so now get rid of these. And then we're going to move to the mask. Nope. We'll actually stick with the 1/8 inch. And then we're just going to follow around this whole edge here with the 1/8 inch vinyl, fine line tape. So I always like to start on a straight area. You just see I'm just matching that up to that very edge of that one. See, now when I do this, I can really kind of get that edge right there how I want it. It's kind of curve around, because whatever's on this side of this tape is going to be silver, so I can kind of really get that to blend in on that curve right there how I really want it. So really, I'm looking at that negative space in between these two here, that little line. I'm just getting it as close as I can to butt it right up against that other piece of tape there. As you can see, this Limeline vinyl tape is really pretty awesome, because what I like about it is, you saw when I did this up here, I was able to kind of pick it up and set it down as many times as I really needed to get that right. It's still going to stick. But I didn't really like press down on here. Once you press down on this, like I will right here, once I know where it's at, I'll kind of give that a good press down. Then I don't know how many times that stickiness will stay, but I do know if you just are barely like kind of laying it on here, a little bit of pressure, you can pull it up a bunch of times and re-stick it. Which is kind of when you're custom painting, doing custom lines, you kind of need something like that. Okay, then again here, I can kind of get this so that really comes up a little smoother. And I laid it the first time with the other one, because when I come back, I'm basically going to follow the outside edge that's going to be silver with this 1/8 inch again around just this top part, then the inside with the 1/16. And it'll make more sense in the next video when I tape off to do the marble effect. That'll make more sense to everybody. Here we are, finish up. Kind of follow that down for a second, and we can kind of go off to the side. Okay, it might make a little more sense now so I'm going to pull all this other tape now. Pull that one, pull the 1/16. Now pull this one, and then, so now you can see we're going to spray everything here down into here. You know, not going to get too crazy down here, but just enough so that fine line we had, this fine line that we had in here, and then this one down here is covered in silver. So when we lay our stripe back on there, it's all covered. So, all right. Okay, now we're going to take, I was telling you, this 1/4 inch masking. This is what this is awesome for, because now I can just get along this edge pretty good here. Nice and quick and easy. Gonna follow it around. Now it doesn't have the stretchiness to kind of make those curves, so kind of can do pretty good, but not that good. You can get it to kind of work around curves pretty decent. Oop, I get that to stay there for me. There we go. I'm trying to pull it so I can get a little edge on here. Try to make this. Nope, not going to make it. If you get little folds like that, you want to make sure you really mash those down because you don't want silver to get back up under that fold and kind of blow out on you on the backside. And it'll make this curve no problem. Up into here. Like I said, when you get these little, where it kind of fold bunches up a little bit, just make sure you get your nail on there or something. Just kind of make sure those are all mashed down so the paint can blow out underneath there on you. Okay, and now we're just going to jump. We could go to this. Sometimes I'll go to this 3/4, kind of do it, but with this situation, how this is laying, it's going to go right to this 1 1/4. Okay, now that'll be ready for us to spray our silver in there. Okay, we're going to cut and we'll be right back. We'll start with the top. Okay, we're going to do the top now. So I'm going to use this 1/8 inch masking to just mark down the center. I already went ahead with my Stabilo and kind of I knew I want to be this wide. I'm going to go up that high. This is going to be like a big oval kind of shape here. And I'm going to come down to here as how far down I want to come. But so I need my center so I can make sure everything's perfect. So it's pretty easy because it has this little notch on the front where the frame goes through the tank. So I'll just kind of pick eyeball center of that. Center of the gas tank. And then you have this corner point down here. So I just get behind it. Lift that up, eyeball it as I'm coming down right there. And that's going to be close to center as you're going to get it. Okay. I'll put that down. And the reason I like to use this masking tape is once I kind of get vinyl crossing over this, you'll see you can cut this and you can actually tug this out from underneath your vinyl without messing it up. So that's why I like using this kind of masking tape here to do my layouts. So I'll even so now I like to do a cross up here so I can get this. I'm gonna go around the other side, look at it from the top. So get that 90 degrees with these as much as I can. So I'm doing my curve across the top and kind of judge off of this. Right there. Looks pretty good. Again, eyeballing is good enough. Nobody's going to notice unless it's way off. But kind of look at it from the top here. Yep, looks good. Okay, so now I'm going to get, let's see, put these over here. So I'm going to do the very outside. So I'll do my 1/8 inch first. Let's see. So I like to leave a little, get this going and leave a tail so I can kind of come down with it. That's not where that's going to be. It just gets me kind of loosely going here. And I'll really start kind of laying it down right up here. This will probably be the hardest curve I'll have to get right. And really what I'm doing is I mostly look at this negative space. I look at this here, and you're not really focused on the line. You're focused on cutting that corner here. But yeah, do it smoothly. So let me take a couple of times. There we go. It seems like the faster you go, sometimes just go for it. It works out the best. So, okay, now when I do this side, I want to kind of match what I did here. So that mark, I measured these out. They're exactly the same off the edge of the gas cap hole there. So I want to go on the outside edge of this here. So take this. So now I'm basically watching that mark there, and with my peripheral kind of watching this mark in here, this area. That's just what works for me. You guys figure out what works for you guys. Like I said, this will be the hardest one to get right because you gotta kind of, just gonna get this going here, curve. All right, and the outside of that line. Okay, that turned out pretty good. Now what you can do is decide, you can get one side kind of how you want it, and then you can match the other side. So come down to right there, an angle. Make it nice and straight. There we go. I'm going to curve this. Do a little circle at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to stop right there with that one. And then what you can do is you grab your ruler here, your stabilo, and you can kind of come, there's two ways. Sometimes I'll do it like this with a ruler, kind of measure off at this section right here, straight across 90 degrees and get them all the same, kind of just every so often down. Or sometimes I will get this masking, pull me a piece off. And you can go right here. So you put a mark. This is just my black Stabilo. Doesn't really matter. You can use a pen, pencil, and mark those edges there. And then you can come across here and do the same thing over here. You can see my mark. I'm almost on it. Then you can take your white, just put a little tiny mark there. And you can kind of just work your way down. Sometimes this way is a little bit faster just to use a tape, because then I just use my same marks here. See, and that one's over there. Let me actually pull this one, get it out of my way. Okay. Just make sure you're measuring inside to inside or outside to outside. That's the same as you go. So there, once I get that, I can be pretty close. I eyeball that rest of the way down. So basically that's going to be pretty much a straight line anyways when you come down there. So let's see. Just going to cut that there. Make those two do that curve there. Okay, so we'll take this and really eyeball that down. Should pretty much just be a straight line there. Yep, looks good. Oop. Okay, there we go. Pretty good. Pretty simple. Pretty easy to do. Okay, so that's going to be our outside. And then now on this, my gold leaf, I'm going to do just a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to use the masking, the 1/4 inch mask, and go around this with the 1/4 inch. And then we'll do another 1/16 inch with the fine line on the inside, which will be our 1/16 inch. Now remember, these lines where I'm putting them now, that's going to be silver. Silver, gold leaf, and then another 1/16 inch of silver. So let's see. We'll follow this down here. Now, as far as this bottom here, how I have it go, we'll see when we do the 16th how I want that to be at the bottom. Maybe I'll just have it barely. You'll just have like a 1/8 of an inch or a 1/16 of an inch come around the bottom of gold leaf around this bottom curve. We'll figure that out in a second here. And then this, yeah, like I said, this is just the guide. This is just showing where the gold leaf is going to go. So we can lay down our 1/16 inside of it. And we can just use some kind of guide pieces up here to hit this curve. Again, you guys subscribe to this channel and hit that bell button, because this is, like I said, this is a series of videos where we're going to take this all the way to the end, where I actually deliver this to the customer. So like I said, we still have got some marble effect we're going to do on this. And each step I do is going to have its own video in the series, and they'll be numbered from 1 to, I don't know what the end one will be, but so I still have some marble effect to do, have some gold leafing I'm going to do, and then what's really cool on the rear fender, I'm going to do like a badge, and this is a kind of a Marine Corps themed motorcycle. So on the back, I'm going to do, it's going to look kind of like a dog tag, but I do a process where that's going to be raised, where the letter is going to be indented. So you don't want to miss that one. That's a really cool effect I learned how to do with that. So yeah. All right. So now we're going to get the 16th inch fine line. We'll go this way. We'll just set that right next to a 1/4 inch masking. And you're not going to follow these little pieces of tape exactly, because they're kind of not straight. So you just kind of do your curve here, how you would. It's just kind of a guide. What you're looking for is, you don't want any, like, where you see it kick, the curve kicks. Like right there, you want everything nice and smooth here coming across. There, pretty good. All right. Come down this side here, and we'll decide what we're going to do about this bottom. Like a lot of this, you have it in your head, and then you kind of make it up as you go. Things change, like what you have in your head versus what actually happens is a lot of times different for me. I just kind of go for it. I have an idea in my head what I'm going to do, and then kind of do it. Once you get it down on the project, you'll see what looks going to look best. So, okay, so let's see. I think I'll come down. Like I said, let's get this tape straight here. I think we'll just come down, do a nice curve here, give us a little bit of area to put some gold leaf there at the bottom. And again, now I'm just looking at this negative space right in here on these two sides, make those look the same. It kind of looks like this black kind of chevron side here, and you want that side to look pretty close to the same. So with the heights where it meets there at the same spot, It looks like my center is just a little bit off. So I'm just going to come over a little bit before I start going up. There we go. And to be honest, I actually didn't need to do this step here, this masking and the 16th, because I really just needed this outside so I could spray in. But I just wanted to show you kind of how it's going to lay out once we do the silver and come back and do the marble effect inside, how we're going to tape that off to keep it. And once we do the gold leafing too, how we're going to, what it's going to look like. So, all right. So there we go. That's that. Now we'll, let's pull all of our masking up. And then we're just going to tape along the outside. Got my plastic razor blade. Kind of get these up pretty quick because they won't damage your paint like a regular razor blade will. It won't gouge in, give you a big nasty cut in your top of your clear coat or even down into the paint, which is bad. So okay, we can pull this cross one up, our guide. And this is what I was talking about with this. You can just break it. You can pretty much get the sides up here, get it up unstuck as close as you can to your line. And you can kind of just work it back and forth, and it pulls out right up from underneath there. So there we go. Okay, then we will take our blade here. Well, we'll just make these so I can tape around this edge, get that curve, both these pieces out of the way. So up in, so we'll just kind of cut this right here. There we go. So 1/4 inch mask. Oh, no. It's not right. We almost screwed up, huh? Almost screwed up. As long as we caught ourselves. Okay. Next step, we're using the 1/8 inch. We're going to go all the way around this first, right? So then we take all that stuff up, and that's where our silver is going to be. So we'll just go around this, follow it nice and close. Okay. So now we can pull all this tape up. Pull our inside 1/4 inch, or 1/8 inch, I mean. There we go. Now we're gonna mask that off with our 1/4 inch masking. I'll use this 2 inch or whatever this is to use this down here. You can see it's transparent, so I can just kind of cut this curve out. Cutting on top of that fine line tape. Like that. Another thing I want to mention is when you're doing all this masking, especially if your clear coat hasn't cured for a long time, like this hasn't, this was just done yesterday, you kind of want to mask it out and do your project that day, I found, just so you don't have any issues, and that's so you can pull your masking tape up as soon as possible. Okay, well, I'll finish kind of masking this up, and we'll be back, and we'll be spraying some silver on. Okay, so we're going to spray the silver. What I'm using is Line silver base coat. There's the number right there. And I just mix it 1-to-1 plus a little bit more with urethane reducer to get spray out of my airbrush. And I'm just using this trigger action airbrush. I think it has a 0.7 needle tip in it on this. I think this is a Masters. It's a Krios. PS290 Krios is what this is. And I love using this little gun, like a little mini gun for, spraying more paint on at one time. So, all right, well, here we go. We're just going to get the edges all the way around. Now, remember, we're going to be pretty thick in with our 16th inch. So we're going to want to spray it in quite a ways around here. Probably actually first I want to tape off that gas cap a little bit. Yeah, we can just do this. Just do light coats to build it up. Just spray a little bit of air, let it dry up a little bit. This dries pretty quick, this urethane anyway, so yeah, it's already pretty much dry. Making sure we really get the angle inside on that edge, because that's where our edge of our pinstripe is going to be. Okay, we'll flip it over. I already did this side. We'll flip it over and do the last side then. Just spraying there right now. Okay, there we go. We'll unmask everything. I'll do the other parts, and then we'll go ahead and clear coat that. Okay, well there we go. We went ahead and we sprayed our silver on there to get ready for our silver pinstripes that we're going to have on there in the end. As you can see, this is freshly clear coated, this fender here. I just got done probably 10 minutes ago. So yeah, it's going to turn out pretty good. That silver really sprayed on really nice, that limelight silver. So yeah, so like I said, it looks a little, funny right now. But we're going to have, like I said, marbling in the middle of that within all this silver stripe, and then we're going to have a gold leaf stripe in there. And then, so really out of all this silver, all you're going to see left is you're going to see an 1/8 of an inch pinstripe on the top of the gold leaf, an 1/16 of an inch on the bottom of it, and then a 1/16 all the way around the bottom in these areas. So you kind of do that, makes it a little easier to get your silver pinstriping that way, rather than the only other way you could do it is just kind of tape it how we did, and then tape out just that where your silver is going to go, which is kind of a pain in the butt. So this is a pretty easy way to do it. Just spray that silver down first. So the material that we used in this, remember, so we used, like I said, Limeline's silver base coat right here, which we mixed 1-to-1 with the Limeline's urethane reducer. And like I said, I really liked how this, I mixed it 1-to-1 and probably just a touch more, not a lot more, to get it through the airbrush. And I really liked how it sprayed on. I've used, other kinds before. Always, because it's a metallic, so it's always kind of a pain to get it through the airbrush. This I didn't have any problems, no blockages or nothing. So I don't know what it is different with the Limelight, but I've had problems before, and I didn't have problems with this at all, not one time. So, all right, and then other things, we used all Limeline's tape, the vinyl Limelight fine line, and then the masking tape here, which is the smaller stuff, and then the bigger stuff to mask off. So we got that there. Then used just an X-Acto blade, our Stabilo pencils, a black and a white, to get our guides and our markings done. And then just use this Creos airbrush. This thing works awesome for putting down a lot of paint. It also comes with a fan tip, that I probably could have used, but this does just as well for what I needed it to do here. And these are pretty cheap too. So yeah, go to I think I got this from Spray Gunner online. They always have pretty good deals on there, and I think the Creo stuff always goes on special on their site. Every time I look, it seems like. So yeah, that's all it takes. It doesn't take a lot to really do this. Looks like it all turned out pretty good. I'm looking at everything. Clear coat went on good. So in the next video, like I said, we're going to go ahead and do the marbling inside of these areas here. And so stay tuned for that video. It'll be out in a few days, 2 to 3 days, depending on how long it takes me to get in here and get it done. And we gotta let this clear coat dry. I'm gonna let it dry for at least 24 hours, maybe a little bit longer. I like to wait a little longer. I had a couple of issues, not a lot, because like I said, you remember I didn't waited just barely 24 hours when I taped on this. And on some of my edges, I know had a spot right here on the fender. There was a spot where it just kind of peeled up that clear coat a little bit when I went to pull the tape off. So that's another thing too. If you're taping on fresh clear coat when you're peeling your tape off, be really slow and careful. You take your time with it. And another trick I do, especially when you're doing your big masking like this, is if you're wearing jeans, you kind of tear off your piece, put it on your jeans a couple times, peel it off, so it lowers the tack on it, so you don't have as many problems. Like I said, stay tuned for the videos to come. We're gonna finish this thing up in probably four more videos or so. See what it takes. Got some cool stuff still coming to do on it. So if you like this video, subscribe to it. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I've been getting some good feedback from you guys, which is good. And also, if there's something that you want to see me do, kind of show how to do it, if I know how to do it, just let me know, and I'll try to fit it in somewhere, which I'm sure I can. So then that leaves me to you. I'll see you on the next one.